Today, I'm going to give you my Volca Keys 2 wish list. Freebeat. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shout-out goes to Don Smith. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So, really quick, I just want to say that Korg has not announced a Volca Keys 2. If they are making one, it's probably already, well into the design period, or who knows, maybe even in production. However, what they did release today was, or at least announced today, was the Volca FM2. You can find review units on a lot of different electronic music channels right now, and I suggest going and watching as many as you can, because it does look pretty cool. There's some excellent upgrades. Now, while I did not receive a Volca FM2, I figured I would take this time to come up with a wish list for the Volca Keys 2 if they are going to make one. Also, sorry if my voice does not sound so great. I definitely have a cold, and as soon as I'm done filming this, I'm actually going to take a COVID rapid test, so fingers crossed. But anyway, let's get to the list. So, turns out I do have COVID. As someone who has genetically poor heart health, it's a little bit unnerving. I've been as safe as I could for the past couple years, and yep, finally happened. So keep your fingers crossed for me. So far, technically, I think I'm on like day 3, and I'm hanging in there. I'm doing okay. But let's get back to the video. Of course, this is my personal list, so feel free to leave your own down in the comments below. I'm actually very curious as to what you all have to say, as always. And this list is in no particular order, except for this first one. This is my number 1. I'm just going to go ahead and start with it. So my number 1 item on the wish list is I want true polyphony and 6 notes. If you don't know, the Volca Keys as it is 3-note paraphonic. This means that it can play 3 notes at the same time, but all of those notes share a filter, an LFO, and an envelope, which can be quite limiting. I think the Volca Keys shines best as a monophonic synth. So I would like true polyphony and 6 notes of it. I realize that this is probably a pretty tall order given the price and everything, but who knows, if there is a way to incorporate it, I would really, really like it, and I think it would go a long way in making the Volca Keys even more of a great value. Next up on this list is reverb. The Volca FM original had chorus. The new one, the Volca FM2, has both chorus and reverb. Of course, the Volca Keys has delay, but I think it would go a long way to get some reverb going in this standalone unit as well. Next, I would love a little screen, just like the Volca Drum and the Volca FM have. I think a little screen to display tempo and exact parameter values would be really, really nice. If you've seen any of my existing Volca Keys patch videos, I kind of just have to describe the knobs in terms of clock position, which does work, but I would really rather prefer to be able to list off values when sharing my patches with all of you. You could also display things like tempo, sequencer status, the whole 9 yards. You could also display things like tempo, sequencer status, really whatever you want. Next up, more LFO destinations. The Volca Keys only has one LFO, which is fine. However, the only destinations you have for that LFO are pitch and cutoff. I think it would be really cool if the Volca Keys 2 allowed you to basically assign the LFO to whatever destination, whatever parameter you liked. I think that would be really cool. That's another thing that the screen could be used for. I don't really think that the LFO shapes need to change. We've already got saw, triangle, square, as well as the ability to turn on and off trigger sync, which basically allows the LFO to reset or not every time you play a new note. I think those features are fine, but some more destinations would be really cool for different sounds. And that's my list. However, some of you are probably going to notice that I didn't include MIDI out on the Volca Keys. The Volca FM2 does have MIDI out. For the first time ever, I believe, on a Volca, instead of using 5-pin MIDI, it uses a pair of TRS jacks. However, I don't really use the sequencer on the Volca Keys that often, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. I would love to see a MIDI out jack on something like the Volca Drum, But yeah, not really a fan of this sequencer, so I'm not sure how much I would use MIDI out on it. Also, if you're wondering about velocity, which is another new feature that the Volca FM2 has, it actually responds to keyboard velocity without the need for a mod. The Volca Keys already does that. So we don't need to include that on the list, which is really nice. When I was making my list, I actually originally had it on there, and then I was like, wait, it already does that. So that's cool. Okay, so I just started editing this video, and actually in the middle of editing, I took a break to drink some water, and I decided to watch Red Means Recordings video on the Volca FM2. Korg sent him one early. I was just interested to see how he would demo some of the presets, as he's one of my favorite electronic music YouTubers, and I was not disappointed. He did a great job, but what surprised me was how honest he spoke in the video. He had quite a few negative things to say about the Volca FM2, and the majority of those negatives actually applied to beginners. And I was so happy to see that, because I really feel like we don't have enough content directed straight at beginners. We all need to remember that we were beginners at some point. I've talked about that a few times on the channel, and it's one of the reasons why I do tend to focus, I'd say probably at least half of my content, towards beginners. So to hear a big name in our industry, like Jeremy from Red Means Recording, talk about that was really nice, and he brings up some excellent points. So I'm actually going to link his review in the description below. I know his channel is, gargantuan compared to mine, but if you haven't watched his review, go take a look. It's really good. It's pretty short. I think it's less than 10 minutes. The music is excellent, of course, as to be expected, and he just knocks it out of the park with his thoughts, and they really aligned probably with what I would be saying if I did get my hands on one. That being said, I think I do plan to get my hands on a Volca FM2. I believe the release date is sometime in May. I think the price point's still right around $169.99, so very interested in that, but definitely I recommend going and checking out Red Means Recordings review. Again, link in the description. Thank you, Jeremy, for bringing some attention to the issue of gear for beginners. But there you have it. There's my wish list for a Volca Keys 2. Again, this is all hypothetical. I don't know if we're going to get one. I really hope we do, because I just love this synth, and I've really been loving it lately. If you've been watching my content in the past month or so, you probably really noticed that. But yeah, great synth. I do hope you found this video informative, or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.